Hey, everybody, welcome back to our weekly tarot spread. Now, I told you last week we were going to be doing things a little bit differently. So, I am going to be showing you a beautiful new spread that I made for us. And this is actually going to be a 7 card spread that we're going to put out so that it better corresponds to the days of the week and gives us a little opportunity for growth for each day. So I'll put up on the screen what the 7 card spread is, just so you kind of see it. And then we will go right on into drawing our cards. So the way this is set up, it's going to look a lot like a Celtic cross, a few less cards, but similarly, we will read it that way as well. So we're going to start with how can we show up for ourselves this week? And this is really the Sunday energy for us. So we're going to start with the Death card. All right, way to kick off Scorpio energy this week. All right. Then we're going to move into how can we connect to spirit this week as our second card, and that's going to go on top. Here we have the World card. All right, then our third card is going to be what actions will move us forward. And there we have the 7 of Swords. All right. So these are our kind of first core 3. And then our next card is going to be how can we better communicate? All right, here we have the Hanged Man. Next, we have how can we build more happiness? And here we have the Queen of Wands. All right, and next, we have what will strengthen our love this week. And here we have the 7 of Pentacles. And finally, we have what will support growth in our business or our personal work this week. And here we have the 4 of Wands. So this looks good. There's a lot of big energy here this week. So as we look at the spread this time, we have the opportunity to think about how we're showing up this week and what's kind of underneath that, what's above that. On the top 2, now we're able to look at the ways that we communicate and how that might bring us some happiness. We're able to reference these 2 cards, which are what will strengthen our love. And this is for our business, whether it's, internal personal work or actual businesses and careers. So having these cards set up this way just gives us an opportunity to look at the week a little bit more holistically, if you will. So if we start with our first card here, and this is our how can we show up for ourselves, and here we have the Death card. Now, you may know that the Death card is my favorite card in the deck because it represents rebirth. It represents ending things, kind of the natural endings to things that lead us into new beginnings. So especially now, especially this week, this is our full moon week. And so I want you to think about the things that we're releasing, but think about it in terms of what do I need to release so that I can continue to grow? So with the Death card here in this position, what do I need to release so that I can show up for myself this week, right? So this is all about how can we show up for ourselves? We can show up by releasing what we've been hanging on to that we should have been letting go of, so that we can create this new energy. We can create this new and improved version of ourselves this week. So this is perfect to start the week and to get us really excited for what's to come when we may be feeling very heavy right now. So the next card we have here is our above card. And here we have how can we connect to spirit? And here we have the world card. So the world card is the end of the cycle, right? Once you've learned all the lessons, you're able to show up freely, completely, openly, untethered to the things that used to hold you back. You've been through an entire cycle. And so, how can we connect to spirit this week? We can connect to spirit by showing up authentically, showing up in the knowing of who we are, what we've accomplished, that we've made it through many cycles. We're going to make it through many more cycles. This week is going to be important for us to recognize what we've already been through, what we've already accomplished, and be really proud of that. Even the things that didn't go the way that you had planned, you got through it. You're here today. And so really celebrating that is going to help you to connect to spirit. Next here for our third card, we've got what actions will move us forward. And here we have the Seven of Swords. Now, this kind of goes back to the Death card and this idea of walking away, right? As we are acknowledging and reflecting on where we are and where we might want to be, we have to be able to let things go mentally. That's the Seven of Swords. We have to walk away from things that have been holding us back, that have been weighing us down. Maybe you felt like you've gotten away with some things, you've done some things that maybe you weren't really prepared for, really ready for, and you might feel like, ooh, I kind of faked it till I made it, and maybe I don't deserve, what I'm asking for or what I have. And that's absolutely not true. The Seven of Swords is telling us this week that you have to start taking those actions of walking away, of acknowledging that there's more. The people that I'm leaving behind or the situations that I'm letting go of are going to be perfectly fine. But we have to be comfortable in moving forward and leaving some things behind. All right, next we have in our position 4, how can we better communicate this week? And here we have the Hanged Man. Now, the first thing I want you to remember in this position is that communication isn't just about you talking, it's also about you listening, right? Communication is two ways. So when you think about how you can communicate better this week, the Hangman is actually telling us that maybe we should shut up a little bit, right? Maybe we should fall back and not feel the need to say everything that pops into our heads. Maybe it's time for us to go within, right? Have the conversations internally about what's going on, asking ourselves internally, where am I going? What am I doing? How do I need to be moving forward? But these conversations are about going inside, not just spewing whatever comes to mind. Next, in our 5th position, here we have how can we build more happiness? And here we have the Queen of Wands. Now, this queen is about taking action, but taking action in this way with the Queen of Wands is by leading others, by leading communities, by being the voice and the energy that is moving people together for a common good. So if you have the opportunity this week to help lead people, gather people, help people forward, you are going to feel another level of happiness, not just for yourself, but also because you will see the joy that others are getting by growing from your leadership. Next, in our 6th position, we have what will strengthen love, and here is the 7 of Pentacles. And this just makes sense if you look at it. If you just look at the card and you see that she's watering these plants, she's giving energy to this plant to help it to grow. There's crystals around it. There is time and attention that is going into helping this plant to grow. And so when you think about strengthening your love in your relationships, take the time this week to pour that water, pour that love and emotion into your relationships. That's what's going to help strengthen them. That's what's going to help build them up this week. And then finally, we have what will support growth in our business or personal work. And here we have the Four of Wands. So this card is again about creating some stability, some structure together with others. This isn't about doing it alone. This is about making sure that you are creating real bonds and real relationships with other people in order to grow your business or to grow yourself personally. When you're doing that personal work, helping yourself to really grow and see other perspectives. It's going to be important for you to really connect with others. And maybe on a personal level, that's talking to a therapist, right? That's very Scorpio. From a business perspective, maybe it's finding partners. Maybe it's talking to other people that you work with or you work for or who work for you, actually sitting down and having conversations about what would be helpful. How can we grow this thing together, right? This is really all about togetherness. So I really like the opportunity to look at all of these cards together to see some comparisons, make some comparisons, look at what's actually happening this week. I'm going to be going live in IG and over on TikTok this week, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth about what these placements mean, how we can look at this spread and any other spread a little bit more deeply by making these comparisons, by not just looking at things individually. So make sure to come and check that out and let me know what you think of the new spread. All right? Stay magical, y'all.